this moment in time, I'm as happy as I can possibly be. Ooh. That good old barbecue. Oh man.
Woo, we all welcome back to Candy Land. This is where she gets her meat sweats on with a barbecue mukbang. Listen, it has been a minute since we have seen what Candy is up to. We will get into all of it. We're going to talk about the breathing. We're going to talk about mental health. She did 4 mukbangs. She did a barbecue mukbang, which you're seeing here. She did an I Hippity Hop strawberry cheesecake pancake mukbang where the sausages were missing. She did a Taco Bell mukbang where, I don't know, she titled it 12 Taco Challenge. I don't know who challenged her to it. I don't know if it's a TikTok thing, if the kids are doing it. Just, Candy, no one's challenging you to eat 12 freaking tacos, but she only ate 7 of them. And then curiously, we also got a fruit bang. But the star of the show is going to be the community post that would put Leo Tolstoy to shame. She also talks in the comment section about what happened to her gentleman friend Steve, Burger Pimp himself. So we'll get into all of that. Before I get started, you guys know my name is Kidneyjay. The J stands for jerk because my kidneys are a pair of jerks. And if you would just oblige me and pour some hot fire sauce on that like button, Baja Blast that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Love hearing from you. Love learning from you. And I do have memberships if you want to support my humble little channel. That way you can. So 2 weeks ago, Candy took to her community post and she had a lot to say. I didn't find this post very succinct. However, I did find it was quite well written. She talked about being a people pleaser. She talked about caring about what people say in her comments. Now, this was right after she had introduced her gentleman friend Steve to the internet, her burger pimp, if you will, and people were not happy. They had a lot to say, but 2 paragraphs to me stuck out. And by the way, you can go and read this. It's still up on her community tab. So first up, the breathing. She says, my vibe is cozy, even though my health issues, breathing and such, cause anxiety in some. And if you look in her comment section or my comment section, people have been mentioning her breathing quite often, especially if you listen to her IHOP mukbang and she says stuff like this.
I got the little wheezes. Oh man. It's the morning wheeze.
So, as you can imagine, Candy has subscribers, viewers who care about her, and when they hear that, they get concerned. Maybe it triggers their anxiety. Candy has mentioned before her breathing, how it's a side effect of some medication she took a while ago. She makes no secret that she does partake in the Mary Jane, as well as I do want to address, I have addressed this before, the Boost Oxygen can behind her. And I had questioned before whether it was canned oxygen because it wasn't a clear picture, but clearly here you can see it is Boost Oxygen. This is marketed to people who are climbing mountains, who are, high performance athletes. And it is concerning that you would need supplemental oxygen by your side. I don't know if Candy ran out of her puffers, but yeah, so that can be concerning to viewers who actually care. And there are people who care about her. So the next paragraph that stuck out to me was about her mental health. She says people know that I have some pretty serious mental illnesses. I have a host of symptoms, and some pretty scary things have been going on lately. I haven't felt comfortable sharing. I'm concerned that I'm not experiencing reality correctly, like my matrix is glitching. I'm not sleeping more than an hour at a time here and there, not even sequentially. So, I've been incredibly irritable and, yes, very bothered by nonsense. I am sorry to anyone I've offended or worried. Thank God she has her CPAP so she could actually keep her airways open while she breathes. But I couldn't help but remember back in time, we're going to go back in time, where she describes her symptoms of her mental illness.
I have a mental illness that, well, I'll just come out and say it. It causes me to hallucinate and stuff. And it can get really, really freaking scary sometimes. Like, really scary. And I have to question reality. I'm like, is this really happening? Or am I just imagining this? Is this just not real? So there's times when I'm like laying in bed alone and I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And it gets really scary.
So if Candy was being genuine about her mental health there, it looks like she was experiencing the same symptoms back then as she was at the time of the community post. Now, let's talk about Steve, the man she introduced to her audience, and her audience were quite rightfully concerned that he might be a feeder or an enabler, but looks like things have ended with him because in the comment section, Candy replies saying, Steve is still around, but he's been friend-zoned. I had a long conversation with him last Tuesday about how I was feeling. I'm not interested in continuing a sexual relationship with him. He took it better than I thought. I think that's why one of the reasons I mentioned people pleasing. I would continue having relationships with a person way longer than I was comfortable with because I didn't want to either hurt their feelings or disappoint them. I'm too old for that, so I manned up and just told him. He still wants to be friends, but I need space for a while till I feel comfortable having him come over again. I don't want to feel pressured for sex, and even if there's no pressure, I worry I would still feel it. So there you go. That's where the relationship was with Steve. It looks like they remain amicable, no drama. Now, amid the tacos and the barbecue and the pancakes, what preceded that was, curiously, a fruit bang. This is where I think Candy might be on a quote-unquote diet, not diet. We've been here before where she sort of wants to eat healthy, sort of wants to clean up things a bit. And she did mention how she has a grocery order at Sprouts. She's looking into something called Miracle Noodles, which are keto noodles. She talks about cooking more, not just in this mukbang, in the other mukbangs as well. Cooking steaks, which is kind of keto-ish. So even though she's still mukbanging on camera, she's hinting that she's maybe taking steps again to cook more, maybe go in the direction of keto. Who knows? Maybe she'll talk about it more in future videos. Maybe she won't. But I've said this a million times before, and we touched upon, mental illness in this video, but, she needs to get the mind right in order for the body to follow, or else we'll just end up in this continuous cycle of, wanting to do better, but not having the tools to do better. So that's it for me, guys. I know this one was sort of cobbled together, sort of all over the place. So if you stuck it out, this far, I appreciate you. And we'll see what Candy has in store, like I said, for the future. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.